So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the new Evo that fits any centre-back under 88 rated, and we'll talk about what it's going to go and do to the market. But before we do get underway today's video, if you guys are interested, I do offer a trading service over on Twitch/Discord. All you got to do is subscribe over on Twitch, which you can do for free with Amazon Prime. If not, it's £5, €5, or $6. In there, you get yourself daily updated investments, and an investment that has done exceptionally well was Saliba. Saliba we recommended at 14.5, and you can see he was going for 14, so we gave plenty of time to go and buy the players. Well, Saliba went all the way from 14 and, well, he's doubled in less than 24 hours. In fact, Saliba is the card that has rose the most in the last 24 hours, so an absolutely well, amazing investment on there. And if you guys do want additional support as well, you can subscribe over on Patreon to be able to ask me questions consistently through the day. So let's go and talk a little bit about this Evo that's made Saliba absolutely bang. And the reason Saliba is up along with a lot of other centre-backs is because we are getting a evolution that basically goes and fits centre-backs, give or take every single centre-back apart from one certain criteria. Now, what is that one certain criteria? Well, the one certain criteria is either the player having 89 rated or higher defending, or 89 rated or higher physical. We can see this because basically the guy who leaks the Evos has leaked absolutely every player being able to fit apart from Thuram. So presumably it's the 90 physical or the 90 defending. He's also said yes to players that go and have 89 defending, as you can see right there with Bai. So again, we don't know if you can go all the way up to 89 physical all the way up to 89 defending, or 90 defending or 90 physical. One or the other is likely to not make it fit. So we kind of actually had intel on this investment because, well, one of the leaking discords yesterday recommended people to go and buy Rio Ferdinand, and also recommended people to go and buy the likes of Trailblazer Gabriel. Again, we did talk about this in yesterday's video briefly towards the end, and basically that kind of led us to believe that every single 88 rated centre-back that fit under the stats would be a good investment, which is again why yesterday we recommended buying the likes of Saliba for him to go and double in price. Yeah, if we go and look at everyone who he said yes to, he said yes to the Klosterman, he said yes to Bai, he said yes to Desailly, so that's very high physical and defending. Also means players who don't only just play centre-back can go and fit it, as in he's got the CDM utility. Van der Ven fits it, so it's not a case of fast centre-backs who won't go and fit it. Nuno Mendes fits it, and he's got 92 pace, and can go and play left-back. Hato fits it, and again, he's got 88 defending, and 90 pace. Rio Ferdinand fits in, he's got 90 defending, meaning, sorry, we know that the requirement is maximum 89 physical or maximum 90 physical. It'll be one or the other. And then Gabriel, again, we also know goes and fits it because of the leaks. So loads and loads of players fit it, and again, it's insane. There's like so many great players that go and fit the Evo. Again, the only thing you need to keep an eye on is them not to have ideally either 89 or ideally, well, especially not to have 90 physical. So that means Ferdinand's fitting it, Stam's fitting it, Varane's going to go and fit it, Cordoba might not go and fit it because he's got 91 defending. Sol Campbell's not guaranteed to go and fit it. Hato should fit it. Desailly's already been confirmed to fit it. Trackstar Van der Ven, Gabriel, Nemanja Vidic probably won't fit it, or he definitely won't because he's got 91 defending and 90 physical. Vincent Kompany, he's got 90 defending, but again, so does Rio Ferdinand, so we know Vincent Kompany's going to go and fit it. The Lit, again, should go and fit it. Tar should go and fit it. Recent players like Morello probably isn't going to go and fit it because he's got 90 physical, which we know is an exception. Eder Militao is favourite to go and fit it. Who, again, I actually recommended a few days, well, recommended I think 2 days ago to my Discord because of the link investment to Mendy. Mendy's SBC card, which we'll talk about in a second. You don't even need the Eder Militao for. So loads of really, really good players are going to fit it. So when I look at who might be either the best player to go and do for the Evo or who would I recommend as an investment, there's 3 ways I look at the investment. The first thing I'll do is I'll look at the most expensive cards, because the idea is if a super expensive card fits it, they're super expensive because they're very rare in the first place, meaning when everyone floods to go and use that player, then they're not going to, there's not going to be the supply to meet the demand. And they're going to skyrocket. And that's why we've seen Rio Ferdinand skyrocket. We've seen Stam skyrocket. We've seen Hato skyrocket, because these cards just don't have supply because of how expensive they are. The second way how I look who to go and invest in is who's the most popular player. So on Footbin, what you can do is you can order via popularity. So this is how I knew that Saliba would be really good, because obviously Varane isn't actually in the game, so we can't go and invest in him. Saliba is in the game, and he did really well over Team of the Year. Luka Bacchio was an SBC card. Nunes was an SBC card. Mendes was an SBC card. Ben Godfrey was an SBC card. So you can see all these cards that are super popular SBCs. So that's why Saliba would have been a good investment. Van der Ven, you can see, is up 35% because he's just one of the most popular cards. Base card not up too significantly. Not seeing too much of a rise there on Conde. We've seen a decent rise on Rudiger. And again, plenty of cool cards go and fit it right there. The third way how I actually go and work out who else might be decent, and this is not so much for centre-back, and this is more for your centre-mids, is obviously a lot of centre-backs going to fit CDM or centre-mid. So a nice way to work out what players, what players could do quite well off this that aren't centre-backs is actually sorting via in-game stats. Because if you sort via in-game stats, you're looking at players who have, high stats everywhere, but they also go and fit centre-back. Now, the caveat of looking at this way is they might have too high shooting or passing, so there runs the risk right there. But obviously right here we got the likes of Parejo, who's got an insane insane amount of in-game stats. We've got Koeman, we got Rodriguez, who's been very popular in some recent Evos. So we've also got Emre Can, who could be quite popular. We might see Sule be quite popular as well. Tchouameni's favoured to be quite popular, fitting it as well. And again, you can already see Tchouameni's up a lot. So loads of really, really good cards fit in the Evo. The one thing, because of how many good cards fit the Evo, is I'm not too sure how much they'll rise post the Evo. It is subjective on the upgrade. If it's just going to be a Playstyle Plus with next to no upgrade, well, we might not actually see these cards continue rising after the Evo's out, and they might actually peak before the Evo's out, because if it goes and fits 40, 50 players, it's not like everyone's buying one player. The demand is spread out, and because the demand is spread out, you're not necessarily going to see these cards rise after the Evo. It also might be abysmal like the one that we saw last week, where it added, I think it was Deadpool, and as a result, it just wasn't really that demanded. We saw some of the top-end cards go up, but some of the cards that fit it, I think it was who is it? Like Marquisio and Hamsik fit the Evo, but they didn't actually rise when it came out because there were just so many better options. Now, what cards do I think will be the most affected by this? Well, if we look at some of the most expensive centre-backs, you've got to bear in mind Rio fits it, and Company fits it, and Saliba fits it. Like this Evo, obviously there's no guarantee, but has the chance of creating some cards, I'd say potentially worth $1 million. If Rio's base cards, like 400 or 500k normally, depending on how much he gets evoed, he could easily turn into a card being $1 million. I mean, right there we see Rio being 1.5 million. So the cards I've been most worried about would probably be cards that are a few 100k, because it's probably almost guaranteed to create cards that are at least a few 100k. But I'd say anything up to 500-600k might be, there might be a bit of a worry. Obviously, unless the player fits the Evo, like Cannavaro, I could definitely see there being a little bit of a worry for, unless they don't go and create an insane card. Also, if your players have alternative utility, you don't have really so much to be worried about. So a good example of this one might be the likes of Carlos Alberto. Because he's 5'11", you could argue, well, he's not probably predominantly being played at centre-back, and as a result, he won't be as affected as someone like he might not be as affected as someone like Pau Kabassi, because this guy obviously only has centre-back utility, therefore a much higher chance of getting replaced. So, yeah, those are some of the cards I'd be most worried about. You can see right now, these are literally the most popular cards, and it's all 88, basically all 88 centre-backs. We actually recommended Kashanov yesterday as an investment at 47k, so good to see he's already up there to 59k. And yeah, I mean, what I would be very careful about is, I think we've got a few cards to talk about. Nesta. Previously we would have liked Nesta out of packs because Bobby Moore went from, I think, 170 to about 210k last week. Well, we would have favoured Nesta being demanded. Well, sadly, again, he's got a very easy chance of being replaced by some of the Evos. Another card to be very worried about is Vidic. Vidic, again, has higher physical and defending that would go and fit the Evo. He was 140k before the hype. Well, he's currently 185k, and he's very favourite to not go and fit the Evo because his stats are above the likes of Torams in terms of defending and physical. Hateo, again, we can see he's already up from 189 to 286, so I'm not overly confident that he'll actually rise when the Evo does come out. Again, some popular cards that we could see taking quite a hit is the likes of Rudiger, with not only his base card fitting it, but yeah, easily going to potentially going to create cards as good, especially as he's only got one playstyle, and this Evo should create two playstyles. And there you go, there's the Kashanov going from 47, and he's up at 59k today. Again, the safe players are going to sell them before 6 PM, especially if there's not much between their current price range and their current price and the max price range. So Saliba got up to 32. The risk versus reward isn't there. Most he can go up is like 2.8k after tax. Whereas he obviously could go in half in price if the Evo either comes out and it's like a few 100k, or it comes out and the upgrades just aren't amazing. So talking about some other content that is to come, and this is quite cool, is that Grassroots is looking like a very EA setting it up to be grinded promo. The reason we say this, because there's a bunch of packs that have been added, but these aren't exactly, they're not exhilarating promo packs. You know, no one's waking up and going, oh, I do hope that we get ourselves a 6 gold common with, I mean, it's not that bad of a pack, but, or the super bronze pack. So, by the looks of things, some of the upgrades we already see in FIFA, if I go here to SBCs and upgrades, it seems like we might be getting either more upgrades to go and do, or they're going to start maybe boosting them a little bit more. An example of this is, there you go, if we move on to the second page. Example of this is like the daily gold upgrade, the daily silver upgrade. If you don't know, all you've got to do is put 1 silver into that and you get 11 silvers, and then you can put your 11 silvers into that and get yourself like 11 golds. Well, what it seems that they might be doing is giving you more of these sort of grindy SBCs that will let you to kind of have a bit of an unlimited SBC sort of, I guess, fluid sort of flow. If you do go and check out the second channel as well, if there is a sort of flow, if there is a massive grind, I will go and upload a video on my tutorial channel teaching you guys how to go and do that grind. So yeah, if you haven't already checked out, I think it's second, third link in the description, is my tutorial channel, which I always cover how to grind the game if EA's given you any sort of like unlimited grinding opportunities. Just like where we released the video for the, what was it, like 20 times 82 plus during Team of the Year. Also, some people might get a little bit caught out with this one. That Grassroots Great Pack has been added. That sounds, it sounds really fun. That's probably just going to be the pack that's in the objectives. I don't expect us to go and get an upgrade SBC like we saw with Future Star with Grassroots. One of the reasons for that, Grassroots is just a 1 week promo. We know this because we can look at the weekly objectives. We're actually going into Foot Fantasy after Grassroots, which is the promo which if a team like scores 10 goals or keeps 3 clean sheets, they get an upgrade. So it's quite a nice promo following that one. Loads of coins on that as well because it's a live promo. Live promos are always good for making a lot of coins. And yeah, I don't think there's like enough discard cards in this promo, and I'd be very surprised if they go and release a guaranteed pack. Some other content to come is Stoichkov. Again, this is only a prediction. There isn't any official card on him, but you know it's not that much off of what his base card is. I think they've just gone and like added +2s and 3s, which bear in mind, you know that card's been out since the beginning of the game, is not too unlikely. This card is, or that card is likely to have striker, left wing, and right wing utility, which I wouldn't say is too bad. But one thing I would say is another Cam EA. Really, we've had Cams. I'd say left, right, and centre, but normally it's just Cam. But yeah, I mean, could be interesting. Interesting to see what they're going to make him cost. It'll probably be 2 playstyle pluses, which will be quite nice. Another SBC that's leaked is Kante. Now this is something we haven't actually mentioned so far, but it is leaked that these guys are going to have radioactive chemistry. Now if you don't know what radioactive chemistry means, it's basically like Globetrotters. So what the players are going to have is they're going to have already I think it's like a double nation link, a double club link, and a double league link. So what does this mean? This means that when the players are in the team, I'm pretty sure they have full chemistry as long as they have either someone from their nation, someone from their league, or any icon. So again, you're not really going to have to look at link investments to these players with them being able to link into anyone. Well, that moves us to talk a little bit about Kante. Now obviously now that he's linkable no matter what, it looks a lot nicer. The problem with this is I just think with the amount of centimeters and CDNs we've had, unless you're going to go off of the Kante outperforms his stats, I just don't think that looks like too insane of a card. And again, we did actually have some investments in the likes of Diaby and other Diaby, but the problem is because he links to anyone, these aren't really going to probably follow through. So we'll probably look at maybe selling these before 6 PM today, just so then we don't have to worry about people over-investing in it. Other SBC that was leaked and we talked about yesterday was Mendy. These are Mendy's official stats. Yeah, not looking too bad. 90 physical is a lovely boost on that base card. 2 really nice playstyle pluses as well. So yeah, obviously subjective on his price, and depending if people have done the Theo Hernandez Evo, I can see there being a lot of demand. So I'm not too sure about the demand on is the Carlos Alberto centre-back. I mean, centre-back's already having a bit of a rough time regarding the Evo, but this is just going to add insult to injury. Yeah, I don't quite know what the demand on this card's going to be, but I guess it's semi-interesting, I guess. SBCs we got yesterday was Verts, again, really coming in at SBC fodder. Do you know what it is? It's like, it's not a bad value for money card, it's just a cam, you know. Every single episode I just seem to all talk about is cams. But yeah, I mean, 91 passing, 92 dribbling, 2 really well desirable playstyle pluses. Shooting's a bit naff. It's surprising his shooting so low, but yeah, it's meh. Something that's really looking quite good is the likes of Dembele. With this promo card being 500k before it came out, this is literally, I mean, 1 less physical, but he's got himself, I mean, he's got himself an extra playstyle plus. Obviously, I guess maybe some people would favour Quick Step over Whip Pass and Rapid, but I'd imagine this would be a lot more desirable. So quite nice pricing there. We didn't know if they were going to go for 2 playstyle pluses because of him being a bit higher rated than some of the other POTMs, but yeah, very nice. And also good news, because we don't have enough already, he can play Cam, which is very exciting. Some of his link investments, well, up until the point did pretty well. Vitinha we recommended at 140 earlier in the week. Well, he's up at 175. Amber Rounder we recommended earlier in the week at 220. I believe it was on the Sunday. Yeah, and he's gone from 220 to 260. Would probably look at selling him though before we go and get our centre-back evos. We do normally go and answer all your questions in the YouTube comment section, but it's just a lot of people talking about the Evo, really. No real questions. So as always, if you guys do have any questions, do feel free to go and drop them down below, and we'll go and answer them at the end of the next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.